Hi, I'm John Atack,
I'm sorry to.
and
I did another one, didn't I?
you did. I wanted to, um, we wanted to talk about whether anger is a pro-social, life-affirming behaviour.
No, didn't need
Good.
much talk.
It's a pretty simple. It's going to eventually. I'm going to needle him enough about doing this.
I'm gonna get rid.
He's
Yeah.
going to learn how to breathe through his nose. You never know. It can be. Um,
Ah.
there's a. We should be indignant. We should feel passionately and powerfully against injustice, against nastiness and horror. But when that indignation, righteous indignation about things being wrong, moves over into anger, then we start seeing street battles.
Yeah.
We start seeing the anti-fascist, Antifa movement deciding that the only way to fight fire is with fire. And without getting into little things about how you make fire breaks by burning bits out,
Yeah.
have you ever seen anybody, firemen throwing flames on flames to, this is not sensible. You use water or foam to fight fire. And we have a culture that is indulging anger, where, people will, that hopefully people will start getting into the comments of our videos soon and calling us stupid and half-witted and what have you, who are people who wouldn't be willing to have a conversation with us to talk about facts and statistics.
Yeah, where people are using anger to boost their own ratings. Like getting people to attack Donald Trump has most likely made him all the more famous.
When we've got into QAnon and this bizarre set, these people who say, well, look, we made this story up, honest, we made it up. It's like, we don't believe you. It's like when, with the Fox sisters, the founders of spiritualism, and table tapping and all of this, I am speaking to the dead, when one of them basically showed the tricks that they'd used, how they'd got little strings and bells and things, people still didn't believe them. In fact, to this day, they still don't believe them. The spiritualist movement still exists. Derren Brown has very convincingly demonstrated how he can get people to do table turning and get write things on blank slates that are wrapped up in. He's incredible. What a wonderful man he is. The trolling, the anger. Now, we made a little video about aggression and pointed out that if you are aggressive, it doesn't actually let the aggression go. It makes you more aggressive, more prone to aggression. Can we afford, I did a deep intake of that. Can we afford to allow our society to become progressively more angry, progressively more oppositional? Well, we've had examples of this anger in the past, and it's called warfare.
Yes.
Now, it used to be that predatory psychopaths would get together a gang of people and go and, burn out another country for a bit of a laugh. The Vikings, or Danes as they're also known, did it. The Normans came to Britain, and William the Bastard, that was what he was called in his own time, he's now called William the Conqueror, in 1066. Actually, his main strategy was to kill everyone and burn everything down. And that is the strategy of anger. I don't think it made a better world having a bunch of Nazis who call themselves the Normans building great big stone castles out of which they could oppress the majority of the people. And I don't think that that's where we should be headed. And I think that having the courtesy to not call people names, not throw things at them, even when they are doing that to you, to respond with courtesy shows that we are mature human beings. I think anger, as it's expressed in our society, shows that you're about 6 years old. Shows that there'll be all sorts of other stuff going on, that, your mummy didn't love you or whatever it is that caused this. And it's something you need to deal with. If you can become, there isn't a choice to be rational and enraged. These are not two things that go together, because angry people aren't rational They do things to hurt other people. They do things to dominate other people. And that's not actually going to lead to a good world. We see, I believe, the consequences of the War of 1861 to 1865 in the United States right now, because that anger was never properly dealt with. And it was quite right that people on either side of a war are going to feel angry with each other. But Sherman's march through the South didn't help very much in public relations, and certainly the period of Reconstruction, the idea that Confederate soldiers would not be allowed to vote didn't help very much. And all sorts of mythology gets caught up in this, and we saw it in Northern Ireland. Your granddad did this to my granddad. We've talked elsewhere about the blood feud, that until people are willing to say, that was our grandparents, we can be grown up, we can be mature, we can be rational, we can have discussions. We don't have to call people libtards or, come up with silly names because we think feminazis, because we think we're superior in some way. Doesn't mean there shouldn't be satire, doesn't mean there shouldn't be humour. These are good things. But hatred, loathing and rage are antisocial behaviours. And if you don't mind society coming apart, keep doing it. But if you do want a world, an environment that will sustain humanity, we have to stop fighting war. And if we're going to stop fighting war, we've got to stop being nasty to each other. And that's about what we have to say about that. I am John Atack.
I am Sam Atack.
We have very much enjoyed the pleasure of your company and hope to see you again soon.